All of the content contained in this webcast is for informational purposes only. The investments and strategies contained in this webcast may not be suitable for you. Please consult your own independent financial advisor before making any investment or trading decisions. Good morning, traders and investors around the world, and welcome to Wednesday's edition of premarketinfo.com, where we prepare you for the most important hour of the day, the first hour. Well, good morning to you, Dennis. We're sitting right in the middle of a 6-point range here.
Yeah, very quiet trade here this morning. Really not much happening at all. We're trying to hold on. We're a couple points above fair value, trying to hold on to these gains. Seeing a few stocks weaken, though, over the course of the morning here so far. So be interesting to see if we can stay positive.
Okay, the current high stands at 1376.75. Hard to find resistance in this market, Dennis, but if that holds as the high of the day, we have a downside target of 1364. That Globex high was never taken out yesterday, by the way. On the downside, we hold the close here at 13. That 1370 is a real good number, Dennis. I think it's going to hold up, and if it doesn't, perhaps we'll have a sell-off all the way down to yesterday's low. If the 1370 and a quarter holds up, we have an upside target of 1283. Still consolidation in this average daily range, Dennis. We're now down under 13. Not too long ago, we were moving 13 points in the opening range.
Yeah, not anymore here, Joel. Just quiet, quiet.
Sleeping bull. Okay, moving on to ExxonMobil, trading up slightly in the pre-market. 87.44 high. Couldn't quite get to that 87.83 high, which is Monday's high. We've just been pounding this 88 number in you guys' head. You're probably sick of hearing about it. Coming on the downside, there was a couple lows there in the 86.50 area that we just touched, just got under and rebounded. So have a real nice range this thing's been trading in, 86.5 to the upper 88s.
Yeah, the upper 88s is still where the resistance is here. We're trading up a bit in the pre-market. We were trading up a little bit after hours last night too. Just 20 cents here, 87.37 trading after closing 87.14. I think you're going to see resistance in the high 87s. Those high frequency guys lean on those whole numbers. They lean on that 88 size that we've seen up there before. So 87.80s, 87.90s remain resistance.
Okay, the beat goes on in Apple Computer, Dennis. I mean, when I wrote my weekly outlook, I was just tongue-in-cheek about going to 550. But here we are, Dennis, trading at 539.30. Closed on the high tick of the day. We did pop over 540 in the pre-market, so I'd keep an eye on 541 as a stopping point. Our low in the pre-market has been 537 and a quarter, so we can keep an eye on that level as well. And then you have the close and the high, 535.41 will be major support today in Apple Computer.
Yeah, this stock is unbelievable, Joel. This is just the march that does not end. We had that 1 or 2 days there where you had the significant pullback, and you'll see that. It's up like an escalator, down like an elevator, but who knows where the top of this escalator is? All I know is when it does fall out, it could fall 20, 30 points in a matter of probably minutes or hours. So you've got to be very careful with this. But that being said, the path of least resistance right now is still higher, and your 550 number target could come in today for all we know. That thing just keeps marching.
That's based on fundamentals that reveal on the show, Dennis.
Yeah, unbelievable though, unbelievable move for this. This is almost like I've never even seen a move like this, Joel, with this straight up. If you look at the last 3.5 months, we're 380. It's pretty much just straight up here for 2.5 months. Besides that one day that we were talking, where the quick 40-point pullback. Man, just unbelievable. It's definitely an unsustainable move, but who knows where the top, this thing could go to 600 before it starts to fall $50. So it's so hard to short something like this. Everybody wants to call the top, which probably keeps driving it higher.
Okay, moving on to IBM. Kind of sleepy here after that blowing through that 195 level. I talked about on the weekly outlook, looking for kind of like a rounding top here. You are getting a lot of highs here in the and of course the all-time high 199.23. You just got to think this thing's just revving up to test 200 and perhaps blow through 200. I'd use 197.43 as support. That's yesterday's low. Uh, good place to cover a short early in the session, or if it breaks through there, you do have some downside until Monday's low at 196.10.
I completely agree, Joel. I think this thing is revving up, getting ready to take out that $200 level. Obviously, there's going to be some resistance there. It's just such a huge whole number. Definitely be some institutional selling pressure, probably just because of the whole number that it is. And high frequency guys do lean on that. So expect some resistance in the high 199s, but I got a funny feeling it could just blow right through all that, too.
Okay, Dennis, flirting with the 110s again. Got up to 110.40 yesterday. It gets over 110, but it really has a hard time staying above there. Has not closed above there yet. Closed at 109.61. That nestles in with Monday's close at 109.63. So you got to like this 109.50 area as support as we're trading up 53 cents in the pre-market. We got that 110.99 there, the all-time high. Sure looks like they're going to be gunning for that today. It doesn't have as far to go to get to it. And above that, Dennis, do you have the stopping point for Chevron Corporation?
Yeah, is the recipient of an upgrade today too from Deutsche Bank, so that is driving it up a little bit here in the pre-market. 110.14 after closing 109.61. 110.99, the all-time high. You're gonna see resistance there, but with an upgrade today, with the momentum it's had, would not surprise me if it takes it out. But that level is huge. This whole 110 area, really, if we look through the last year, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, almost 10 tops here in this area. So, it has worked to short this area in the past, but above 111, all bets are off.
Okay, Mr. Softy, finally, Dennis, we had talked about the consolidation of the highs at the 3150 level, and it took it out there yesterday with quite a vengeance. Trading up to 31.93, peeling back, only settling off 6 cents above that, 31.87 with the close. Sure looks like it's got 32 on the mind today. The April 210 high of 2010 high 32.10 comes into play today. Coming back on the downside, sure doesn't look like we're going to get to yesterday's low at I perhaps would use Wednesday's high as a minor support there at 31.68, and of course 31.50, the area where we had the double top and where we broke out from. I'm sure a lot of traders will be trying to get their stock back at that level.
And it's no coincidence that Apple started breaking out and making new highs here again, and Microsoft does it too. Continue to use Apple as your Microsoft indicator. I really believe when Apple has that huge pullback day, you're going to see Microsoft probably do the same. But until then, it's still the same story, up like an escalator with the potential to be down like an elevator, Joel.
Man, we sound like a broken record here, Dennis.
Yeah, but it's been working, so that's just it. So keep following those trades. Follow the broken record until it doesn't work anymore.
Okay. Well, it looks like Bank America won out over Kramer on the Procter Gamble here, Dennis. Made a low at 66.54. That was right. Boom, turned around, smashed through Monday's high, 67.04, closed at 67.39 with the 67.49 high. Looks like this thing is just on the march towards 68.
Yeah, well, you got a 52-week high at 67.72, so that could be your first stumbling block. 67.50 could be a little bit thicker there, too, especially with the high yesterday, 67.49. I'll limit my comments because I do have a trading position on in this one, Joel.
Hey, you had a number that I didn't have on the sheet, Dennis. Good job. Okay. Okay. Moving on to AT&T. Moving up again yesterday. Not very far. 30.53 close with the 58 high. Use that high as resistance. This thing is moving up. Not real fast, but above 30. We have some July 14th high at 30.93 to keep an eye on, And this thing just keeps making higher lows. Major support now moves up to 30.36, which was Tuesday's low and Monday's close.
Slow drift up. The stock almost seems like it trades like a bond. 5.76% is the yield on the thing. And I think people are just buying the stock for the dividend because they want to, where do you park money? You get 5.7% in a relatively lower beta stock. So continues to drift higher here. 30.50 is a huge technical level. It's what's putting a lid on the pre-market. But, there's just not a lot to say about this one other than the dividend.
Maybe we'll kick it out of the
I
Big
think we're going to
Ten.
have to kick it out ourselves. It's just too boring.
Put Google in there or
Yeah,
something.
make it interesting.
J&J, strong day yesterday, Dennis. We had talked about that 64 level and held up strongly again. Got up to 65.42, peeled back to close at 65.18. I'd be looking for that resistance at 65.58. After that, we have the 17-day high at 66.02. So 66 is the next stopping big number on the upside. On the downside, Tuesday's low at 64.50's major support.
Right in the middle here, this overall range between 64 and 66. 65.5 seeing a little bit of size starting to form in there, so you could see some resistance in the 65.40s. And if we take that out, you're right, Joel, 66 is enormous, so I'd expect high frequency resistance all in the 65.80s and 90s.
Okay, our final component, Pfizer, has been able to shrug off some biggest sell imbalances the last 2 days and turn around and rally. While the rally hasn't gotten very far, major resistance at 21.28. That was Tuesday's high. Got a bunch of highs above that, so you still can't make a new move over this Pfizer over this 21.50 and. 21, it seems like every time it trades under that level, it's not for very long.
Yeah, and I'm going to limit my comments on this one, too. I got a trading position on in Pfizer as well, Joel.
Hey, been busy this morning, huh, Dennis?
Yeah, a little bit busy.
The early bird gets the worm. Maybe
well, that's supposed to be our model, so I don't know.
Maybe,
It sometimes works, sometimes the worms aren't that tasty either.
Maybe we fighting the worm, our logo worm, on as a moniker, and change it. See who's going to win out.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, Dennis. All right, that's a wrap on our SPU&Big Ten show. We'll be back with our market movers.